Well, hopefully no garbledness this video. There hasn't been garble in a few videos. So we're doing good so far. I don't like this episode. I don't like it. I don't like it. When they do stuff to Picard, I don't like it. When they do stuff to Picard, I just don't like it. So anyways, welcome to the Deluise book series. I'm Christina KRS, Tina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects going on here, no theme music. My thumbnails are horrible, so please share, tell people I exist, because no one is coming to my channel, because my thumbnails are inadequate. I am not a very creative person. Because every time I talk to somebody about my channel, they go, you need better thumbnails. That's their number one answer. You need better thumbnails. Well, I'm horrible at thumbnails. I spend my time reading and talking about books and doing my videos. I'm not creative with thumbnails. I just not. But anyways, this is Friday, and that means it's Star Trek Next Generation Recap Fridays. I'm a series person. I like series. I like character progression from episode to episode. And we are in season 6. We are on disc 4. We are on episode 241. We've done Aquil, Face of the Enemy. Today we're doing Tapestry, and next week we're going to start Birthright, Part 1. And I just don't like it when they do stuff to Picard. I just don't. So anyways, there is no there is no voiceover with this one to start. Oh, and before I forget, please don't forget to check out my If Then video later this afternoon and my Flashback Monday episodes every single Monday, where we talk about all the books in Romantic Times Book Review magazine. Let me just do this. And unbeknownst to the title, this is a Q episode 2. And it's Q that does this stuff to Picard. So let's see if we can get started. So we start out in sickbay. Crusher says, bring the stasis units in here, have them online. Yes, doctor. Tell Dr. Solar she can use Ward 3 for the ambulatory cases, and I'll stay here. Transport a room 4 to sickbay. They're coming in now. Crusher says, acknowledge. Stand clear and be ready. Worf is carrying Picard, and Riker and the security men have their phasers out. A security person is supporting other people's. Let's go look. So, this is them beaming in, and Worf has got Picard. I had to stop it here, because they move this. Once the fizzling stops, they run. So I didn't get a chance to. You can't see it if I don't do it here. So, there's Picard, there's Riker, and there's the security personnel. Now, I'm wondering, now that I see that Picard's hurt, if this whole thing's gonna be a dream of some sort. And I just don't like it. I just don't like it. So, let's get them on the beds. Oh, this is hard. They're moving so fast. So he's in cardiac, they move him to the table. The Linarians attacked us outside the conference room. He's in cardiac arrest. Connect the pulmonary support units. He's got internal hemorrhaging. The bioregulator of his artificial heart's been fused. He's got liver and spleen damage. What kind of weapon caused this? Worf says a compressed Terion beam. Crusher says 40 cc's of Provolene. The activity in the isocortex is falling. Cortical stimulators now. And they put the things on his head. His respiratory system is shutting down. The levels in the cortex are failing. Damn, prepare 4% series. And that's where it goes out. So, I don't know how much of this you can see, but that's Q. That's Picard. Q says, "Welcome to the afterlife, Jean-Luc. You're dead. What's going on? I told you, you're dead. This is the afterlife. I'm God." Picard says, "You're not God." Q says, "Blasphemy. You're lucky I don't cast you out or might you or something. The bottom line is your life ended about 5 minutes ago under the inept ministrations of Dr. Beverly Crusher. No, I'm not dead, because I refuse to believe that the afterlife is run by you. The universe is not so badly designed. Very well, if you really require more evidence of your post-mortem status, I guess I'll have to provide you some." Now, the person who designed these was pretty bad, if you think about it. If you're a deaf person, oh shit, there's a strand there. If you're a deaf person and you're using closed caption to watch this episode, they put the closed captions over the guy's face so you can't see his facial expressions or read his lips or anything. It's up there. How inconsiderate is that? So, it feels like it's the episode starts off and this really shoot. This really gives me that um uh Jacob Marley feeling. The ghost of Christmas past, and this is not working out. I can find it. This is a braid within a braid within a braid within a braid. Let me just finish this. So, he shows them his father. "Jean-Luc, I told you not to go running off to that academy. Father, I told you Starfleet would bring you to a bad end, but you wouldn't listen. Now look at you, dead before your time." Q, enough of this. Enough of what? Why couldn't you have listened? Didn't you know that I was working for your best interests? Q, stop this. After all these years, even now, you managed to disappoint me, Jean-Luc. He's not the only one who'd like to have a word with you. Lord have mercy. So then we don't see anybody. But he hears the voice. Why, Captain? Why did you do it? Captain, there are still people down there. You can't abandon them. There must be some other way, Captain. Some other choice than firing on them. Man, if you continue on this course, a direct hit, sir, the ship is destroyed. These are the voices of all the people you killed throughout the years. Whom I've killed? What do you mean? Death has made you a little dim, Jean-Luc. These are the voices of the people who have died through your actions or inactions. Now, if you have any words of apology or regret, I believe they're all listening. They're a surly bunch, actually, so don't drag this out too long. I have no intention of performing for your amusement. Q said, "This is not for you. This is for you, Jean-Luc. This is your opportunity to make peace with your sordid past. I find it hard to believe that you are doing this for the benefit of my soul. Well, now that you've shuffled off the mortal coil, we're free to spend a little time together." A little time together? How much? Eternity. Now, you're sure you have no regrets or feelings or guilt about your former life? I can't have you whining and complaining through time. If I'm really dead, then my only regret is dying and finding you here. You wound me, Jean-Luc. After all, I was not the cause of this death. Um, he All right. Let's take a look at this thing. So then Q shows him his artificial heart. You might have lived if you'd had a real one instead of this unreliable piece of technology. By the way, did you lose yours anyway? A mistake. It was a regret, I hear. I regret many things from those days. Really. What does he do now? So then he shows him the younger self fighting with the Narcissian. It wasn't very smart of you to take on 3 Narcissias, wasn't? No, it wasn't. And did I hear a laugh? It's so unlike you, John Luke, to have a sense of humor, especially about getting stabbed through the back. I was a different person in those days, arrogant, undisciplined, with far too much ego and too little wisdom. I was more like you. Then you must have been far more interesting. Pity you had to change. The pity is that I had to be impaled through the back before I learned that lesson. I started that fight with those Narcissians. I started it because I was young and cocky. If I'd been more responsible in those days, I wouldn't have had needed this heart, and I wouldn't have died from a random energy surge 30 years later. So if you had to do it all over again, things would be different, he says. And then, so we know, I didn't show it, but the Picard from 30 years ago had hair and he was much younger. But because Q has put Picard in the past, there are some of you would like to go back in the past and fix your mistakes if you could go back into the past with the knowledge you have today, could you fix your mistakes? And if people have perished since that time, maybe spend more time with those people and maybe do some more family treeing when those people are alive. Fix those mistakes. If you did something wrong or you didn't take this course or that course or didn't, just to go back and fix some of those littler mistakes. Some of the bigger ones may hurt the time flux continuum situation. But if you could go back and fix some of the stuff, but with the knowledge that you have today, that would be the thing. If you could go back in time and fix stuff, but you have to remember that what you did then was cause and effect for what your life is today. So what you fixed back then may change what you have today. So you'd have to see about that. But if you could go back, what stuff would you change? I would change my college major, that's for sure. But you have to think about it. If you could go back in time, what would you change? So, Picard is back in his college or academy dorm. I'm not sure where. This lady hits him and she's bravo, Corey, nicely done. Corden Zeller, a red-haired young man, yes. Boy, she must have hit you pretty hard, of course. You deserved it. I don't see anybody else in the room. Let's check it out. Okay. So we see the other people in the room. Um, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. I'm just a little disoriented, that's all. Come on, just playing for sympathy now. Look, I'm going to get something to eat and head over to the casino at Bone Star. You coming? I'll catch up with you there. You sure you're okay? Yes, I'm fine. Really, Marta, I'm fine. Come on, Marty. I guess he's got another date. That's it, isn't it? You're incorrigible. They leave and so then Q returns. That's Captain Q to you, young man. What's the point of recreating this fantasy? This is no fantasy, I assure you. It's all very real. You're 21 years old again, a brash young man, fresh out of the academy. I certainly do not look it. Well, to everyone else you do. So, Q, I thought you told me that I was dead. Now it seems that I'm alive. Oh, you mortals are so obtuse. Why do you persist in believing that life and death are such static and rigid concepts? Why can't I take your life and give it back to you again with a finger snap? Let's say for the moment that may be true. What is the purpose of bringing me here? You said you regretted a great many things in your life. Well, here's a chance to change some of them. Change them. You mean change the past? Q, even if you've been able to bring me back in time somehow. Surely you must realize that any inattention to this timeline will have a profound impact on the future. Please spare me your egotistical musings on your pivotal role in history. Nothing you do here will cause the Federation to collapse or galaxies to explode. To be blunt, you're not that important. I won't do it. I won't alter history. Oh, very well. Since you're so attached to the importance to the continuity of time, I will give you my personal guarantee that nothing you do here will end up hurting anyone or any adverse effect on what you know of history. The only thing at stake here is your life and your peace of mind. Now, whether you believe me or not, you are here and you have a second chance. What you choose to do with it is entirely up to you. Do you know where you are? Starbase Earhart. We came here right after graduation to await our first deep space assignment. That's right, and 2 days before your unfortunate encounter with the Cartesian Sword. You have that long to make whatever changes you wish. If you can avoid getting stabbed through the heart this time, which I doubt, I'll take you back to what you think of as the present, as you can go on with your life with a real heart. Then I won't die. Of course you'll die. It'll just be at a later time. What if I don't avoid the fight? What if I don't make the changes? Then you die on the table, and we spend eternity together. Wonderful. I'm glad you think so. I'm curious about one thing, Johnny. Why did that rather attractive woman strike you just now? Something you said? Her name was Corleania. I'd arranged to take her out today, and then she discovered that I'd already made a second date with another woman, called Penny, and Corleania was naturally upset. I had no idea why you were such a cad. I'm impressed. Computer, what is the time right now? 16:11 hours. In fact, Penny is waiting for me right now. Well, carry on. So Picard is in the bar with Penny, and it's really foggy, and you really can't see anything. Um, Penny, do you think we could just talk a while? I don't know anything about you, where you're from, what your interests are, your last name. I come from Rigel, but my last name is Murak, and I like men in uniform. I think that's enough talking. She tries to kiss him. What's wrong? I don't look as attractive as you as I did last night. No, no, no. I think you're very handsome woman. Handsome. That's something you say to old ladies. You're certainly not an old lady. And she throws her drink in his face and leaves. So then Q is playing bartender. Penny for your thoughts. You never told me you were such a ladies' man. I wasn't. I was a pure adolescent who allowed himself to be led by his hormones instead of his head. Looks like your friends know how to have fun. You ought to take lessons. And he goes over to join his friends. So he goes over to the pool table. Um, You're getting old, Johnny. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Very, very nice, Marta says. I think you should forget about Starfleet and pay Don Jam Dot for a living. Nah, this is nothing. A little trigonometry, minor wrist action. Now, bookie, there's a game. Human, play Don Jam, human. I think I could be persuaded to play one more game. Corey, don't play him. Why? It'll cause trouble. He's an Acarcian. They get very ill-tempered if they lose. So can I. No, Corey, listen to me. This is a big mistake. Don't play him. What's gotten into you? Let's go. I see you found your Narcissian friend. Its history repeats itself. Corey will figure it out later tonight, and then he'll want revenge. And you will help your best friend avenge the injustice. I did the last time. I rigged the table so that he would win a rematch. Picard, you cheated. Picard, I'm impressed. It was a stupid mistake. The Narcissian didn't take kindly to losing, nor his friends. They were outraged. They wanted a fight. I gave them one. That's a beautiful story. It gets you right here, doesn't it? So they're talking about the fact that the guy played the Don John really, really well. Um, and he's determined to get him back. They decided that he was cheating. Um, and Picard's like, that won't solve anything. It'll teach him that he can't go around cheating Starfleet officers. All it'll do is provoke him, and provoking a Sissine is not a good idea. I can handle him. What if he's not alone? What if he brings some of his Narcissian friends with him? Well, then I guess I'll have to depend on my friends to help me. Corey, there's got to be a better way to handle this. When did you start backing away from a good fight? Look, Corey, we're not cadets anymore. We're officers. We should start to set a higher standard for ourselves. It was a good idea, but let's just forget it, okay? Um, he leaves, and then Picard and Marta talk it over. He'll get over it. I hope so. What? Nothing. It's just that you'll usually be the one plotting revenge. Yes, that would be more character, wouldn't it? But I always suspected you had a hidden streak of responsibility somewhere. Perhaps it's just that I'm getting older. Maybe these bars are just getting to feel a little heavy, Ensign. Ensign Picard and Ensign Baptiste. Isn't that weird? Doesn't it, Sam? I'm getting used. It does take some getting used to. It's too bad we can't use it together. The three of us, I mean. Oh, of course. So then Q shows up. I thought you'd like to know Mr. Zuela has decided not to take your advice. He's in the Bond-style facility right now, rigging the table to beat the Narcissian. I guess you weren't that persuasive. So there he is, fixing the table. He surprises Corey. Corey hits his head on the table. I'm glad you're here. Hand me the Magna Spanner. Corey, I'm not here to help you. I'm here to stop you from making a serious mistake. You sound like my mother. Cheating the Narcissians could have serious consequences for all of us. It's a risk we can't afford to take. You are my mother. Well, gee, Mom, I guess I'll have to go tell these Narcissians I don't mind if they cheat me. This is not a joke, Corey. It better be. Now I'm going to finish my work here. If you want to help me, fine. If not, I'll see you back at Starbase. I said you're not doing this. Are you going to hit me, Johnny? No, I'll tell the gambling foreman someone's been tampering with his Dom John table. All right, have it your way, Ensign Picard. So then Picard is talking to Marta. I couldn't make him understand. At least he did finally give it up. Yes, but he didn't take it well. Oh, you know, Corey, he'll forget about it by tomorrow. I hope you're right, because he and I were friends for years after this. I mean, I hope we'll be. You know, he keeps smiling at me. Well, it's just, I've never seen you like this before. You're so serious. Do I really seem that different? Maybe. I'm not used to seeing you in your officer's uniform. No, it's more than that. You seem different. Well, I'm not complaining or anything. I think it suits you. Really? Yes, it's very attractive, Johnny. Have you ever thought about getting us together? Yes, I have, actually. I've thought about it for a long time. Why didn't you ever say so? I don't know. At this moment, I really have no idea why not. You said so now. And he kisses her, and they have a romantic entanglement. So Picard rolls over in bed and he thinks he's in bed with Marta and he's in bed with Q. Well, let's see. You've managed to get slapped by one woman, a drink thrown in your face by another, and alienate your two best friends. Doing very well so far. The only thing left to avoid is getting stabbed through the heart. She says, well, this is the morning after, huh? Look, I don't regret anything that happened last night. I hope you don't either. I don't know. We've been friends a long time, and now I'm afraid we ruined that friendship. Then perhaps we should forget about what happened and try to. I wish I could. It would make it much easier to say goodbye tomorrow. Well, we're all supposed to get together later for one last night before we ship out. I don't want you to do anything that makes you uncomfortable. We've planned it. I'll be there. Okay, so then they have their last night. I think you'll be serving on board the Ajax. I hear the Captain North is an excellent officer. So I hear. Well, here's to the class of 27. And then the bad guys enter. Uh, Play Dom Jom, human. Give you a better chance. Give you a bigger stick, maybe. I don't think we're interested. They were Undari cowards. What did you say? Coward. Like all Starfleet, you talk and talk, but you have no grumble. Why don't you find out? Don't be a fool, Corey. Look, there are plenty of other people to play Domjam with. Now just go about your business. Nassim, I want to play with her. Give her a good time. Um, and he gets a little physical, and Picard gets a little physical. I'm sorry, Corey. He was reaching for a weapon. I don't know you anymore, but you're not my friend. Goodbye, Johnny. And they leave. And then Q arrives. uh, Congratulations, Mon Captain Team. You did it. And then all of a sudden, now I'm trying to figure out why everybody else is in their prospective positions on the Enterprise, but not Picard. Worf and Data and Riker, they're all in their same, and Troy, they're all in their same positions, but not Picard. Um, so Worf says, "Can I help you? Can I help you, Mr. Picard? Mr. Worf, this is not for me. You should take it to Commander LaForge in engineering." What's happening, Picard says. Is something wrong? I'm not just sure, Mr. Worf. What is my rank and position? You're a lieutenant junior grade assistant astrophysics officer. Data says, are you feeling all right? Who's the captain of this ship? Captain Thomas Holloway. Perhaps I should escort you to sickbay. No, I can find my way there. Thank you, Commander. So he goes to sickbay, and when he gets to sickbay, it's not Dr. Crusher, it's Q. Um, What have you done? I've done exactly as I promised. I returned you to the present. This is not the present I remember. You said nothing would change. Nothing has changed, Jean-Luc, except for you. But then again, that's what you wanted, wasn't it? To change the man you were in your youth? Well, you didn't. This is the man you are today, and you should be happy. You have a real heart beating in your body, and you get to live out the rest of your life in safety, running tests, making analysis, and carrying reports to your superiors. So then he goes to 10 forward. Excuse me, and I'm interrupting. No, not at all. Have a seat. Thank you. I'd like to talk to you for a moment about my future on the Enterprise. Of course, Lieutenant Jean-Luc, isn't it? Maybe I should go. No, please, Counsel. I would very much like to hear your thoughts. First of all, I would like you to absolutely straightforward me. How would you evaluate me as an officer? Well, sir, your performance records have always been good. You're thorough, dedicated, reliable, steady. I see. Would you say that if I told you that I believe that I was capable of very much more? Perhaps we should discuss this at your next evaluation. I would appreciate if we could discuss it now. You see, I feel that I would like to move beyond astrophysics to engineering security, something that might even lead to command. Frankly, Lieutenant, I don't think that's realistic. Why? I really don't think this is a place to be discussing this, Troy says. Please, this is important to me. I believe that I can do more. Sure, hasn't that been the problem all along? Throughout your career, you've had lofty goals, but you've never been willing to do what's necessary to attain them. What would that be your evaluation as commander? I think you'll have to agree with the counselor. If you want to get ahead, you'll have to take chances and stand out in the crowd and get noticed. I see. Now, we don't want to lose you. You're a very good officer, not just one who stands out in the crowd. Why don't I talk to Commander LaForge in engineering and see what we can do? But command, well, we'll see. And then there's a voiceover. Senior officers report to captain's ready room. Acknowledge. We should talk later, Troy says, and they leave. So Picard gets in the turbo lift, and he's gonna go to engineering because Geordie's paged him. And then he says, Are you having a good laugh now, Q? Does it amuse you to think of me living out the rest of my life as a juryman in a tedious job? I gave you something most mortals never experience, a second chance at life, and now all you can do is complain? I can't live out my days as that person. That man is bereft of passion and imagination. That is not who I am. Au contraire, he's the person you wanted to be, one who was less arrogant and undisciplined as a youth, one who was less like me, the Jean-Luc Picard you wanted to be, the one who did not fight the Narcissians, had quite a different career from the one you remember. That Picard never had a brush with death, never came face to face with his own mortality, never realized how fragile life is or how important each moment must be. So his life never came into focus. He drifted next, never seizing the opportunity to present himself. He never led the away team on Malacca 3 to save the ambassador or to take charge of Stargazer's bridge when its captain was killed. No one ever offered him a command. He learned to play it safe, and he never ever got noticed by anyone. You're right, Q. Give me a chance to change and I'll take the opportunity, but I admitted it was a mistake. Are you asking me for something, Jean-Luc? Give me a chance to put things back the way they were before you died in sickbay. Is that what you want? I would rather die as a man I was than live as the life I just saw. So Q sends him back to the Narcissian to the night of the fight, and he gets stabbed all over again. And then he's back on the table with Beverly. He says, his vital signs are stable. Captain Jean-Luc, you've been injured. I think you're going to be all right. I still don't know what to make of it. Was it a dream? Was it one of Q's elaborate tricks? Let's see. So he's talking to Riker. A lot of people near death have talked about strange experiences, but I've never heard one so detailed. And there's still a part of me that cannot accept that Q would give me a second chance or that he would demonstrate so much compassion. And if it was Q, I owe him a debt of gratitude. In what sense? It sounds like he put you through hell. There are many parts of my youth that I'm not proud of. There were loose threads, untidy parts of me that I would like to remove. But when I pulled one of those threads, it unraveled the tapestry of my life. I was just trying to imagine a hell-bent for the young officer insulting an Narcissian twice his size. I wish I'd had a chance to know that, Jean-Luc Picard. Oh well, to tell you the truth, that wasn't the first run-in I'd had with a couple of Nasserli Narcissians. And it's like, really? And the episode ends. So, that is the end of Tapestry. I hope you will come and join me next week for Birthright Part 1. We did a Quill, Face of the Enemy, Tapestry today, Birthright next week. I hope you go check out all of my Star Trek Next Generation recaps. We've done all the episodes. Some of season 6 is a little garbled, but 1 through 5 is just fine. You may have to turn the volume up a little bit to hear me. I'm practically screaming my brains out during those videos, and you still can't hear me. But it's better now, hopefully, fingers crossed. But if you could hit the like and share, and don't forget to watch If Then later this afternoon, I'd really appreciate it. I work really hard on those videos. Of course, I do lack the thumbnail activity though. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.